Okay, continuing on, this is about part 25 of the GE World Monitor radio. I got the alignment fixed and the diodes, and that's good, but I've still got that feedback and I can't find out where it is, so what I've done is I've pulled the module off, and I'm suspecting this driver transistor, that black one right there. I can't figure this thing out. I can show you what it's doing. It's about 18 kilohertz or something. Take a look at the speaker here on the scope.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the bandana?
So I want to try changing that driver. My Russian germanium transistors came, so I want to play with those anyway. So I'm going to pull that driver off there and just change it. This thing is really just cranking along. That's about 1 volt, so that's about 6 volts on the speaker.
Slash pivot bill. Bill defeated.
This is that.
Say it again. Democracy simply doesn't work.
This is that Simpsons marathon. It's been going now for about 3 days straight. Anyway, the driver fixed the problem. If you watched part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever of this video, in the first or second episode, I replaced 2 of these transistors that were in the output with silicon transistors. You can see them right there, and rebiased it for silicon. That was before someone educated me about these Russian germanium transistors. And I bought a whole bunch of these, and I've been experimenting with them, and I pretty much had to print out the Russian alphabet and kind of learn kind of how that works in order to figure these things out. But I just stuck that in there and I tried a couple different ones, and it sounds great now. No distortion, no squealing, no feedback, nothing.
What up, it's your boy Kid Ink. You already know, don't touch that.
You can see it's clipping a little bit. See the square wave at the top? So you can see that's the absolute maximum voltage it can put out. So it was another one of these, and the weird thing about it was the more I ran it, the worse it was getting. You know, it wasn't that bad when I first had fixed it and put it all back together, but I was using it for a couple days and it just kept getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And you know, at this point the thing's been recapped and all that, so it's had a lot of work done on it. So anyway, I got a few more, waiting for a few more of these to come in. I could take a look at those. So this was the first order of these transistors, and this is a GT308A, which is 100 megahertz general purpose. And I tried that one as a driver and it worked fine, and it's good for 100 megahertz. I also tested these, a bunch of these in a transoceanic, and I should make a video on that, but I'm going to do it out in the back country, that way I can really compare them. This right here, which this is a GT313B, this is a badass RF transistor. This thing goes up to 1 gigahertz. These were made in like 95. They're germaniums, and boy do they perform good in the front end of the Zenith. This one is a low noise MP39B, which is an oxymoron really for a germanium to be low noise, but these were made in the 90s too, so they could very well perform really good. I tried these two in the radio and they seem to work. This is a GT309A, which this is like a little tiny RF-IF transistor, 10 volt, and let's see, they send you all the paperwork on these things. So Juicy's radio is going to be the first one to get one of my USSR made. Yeah, you kind of have to decipher this thing in order to know what you got. These are all the specs on them. It's always interesting because everything is signed and dated. And it's kind of on this really old, primitive kind of, I don't know if you want to call it recycled, but it's almost like third world type paper. Yeah, these are a lot of fun. A lot of fun, and I went through and checked about 50 of them, and they're all good. So whiskering, and that's obviously not a problem with these.
Now over the initial impact and are trying to deal with what comes next. Reporting live from Napa, Curtis Kim, KCBS.
All right, Curtis, thanks. We'll be checking back with you shortly. Right now, we want to bring in an expert on earthquakes, UC Davis professor John Rundle. Professor, I understand that you do a lot of research around earthquakes, and
it's all cleaned up and ready to go. That's the new capacitor that replaced the internal capacitor on the IF can.
I slept through it, to be honest with you, but my son upstairs. Yeah, my son upstairs felt it and woke up, so
I looked at the way that the driver here, which was the one that was bad, and the pre-driver were wired into the circuit, and because they didn't use a voltage divider for biasing, you could put pretty much any transistor in there and it would work fine. So this is a PNP silicon Russian mil-spec transistor, whatever that means. I don't know, they were like 50 for $2, so I ordered a bag of them. And it works good, it sounds really good. I listened to the silicon as well as 2 or 3 different germaniums and headphones, and they all sounded pretty much the same, crystal clear. So we're going to put this back together for the 50th time and hope it holds.
Traffic and weather together. Sales an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I stopped by to tell you we're living in some terrible times. We're living in a world of guided missiles and misguided men. We're living in a world which men know how to pick it but not how to pray. We're living.
Let's get it on. Let's love, baby.
2000s and higher jury award.
God is the one who transforms us, but what's our part? By the renewing of our mind.
Nothing for you, nothing, no. These girls ain't loyal, no they ain't. Whoa, these girls ain't loyal. Yeah, yeah. Latin girl with a big booty. If she a bad bitch, let's get to it.
Privileged to serve you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
God.
Hey, también en McDonald's.
Global Super for long engine life. Now at Pep Boys, get a 5-quart container or 5 single quart.
Only at 7-Eleven. Then enjoy a refreshing Pepsi Cola made with real sugar. But hurry, it's only available for a limited time at participating 7-Eleven stores.
Was directed towards us, that is, those who are in Christ.
Website, you'll see dates, times, and locations near you. Find the one you want, go to it, learn about how.
Our assessment is that if we don't see the kind of response that we think needs to be made, that we will be issuing some fines.
So does that mean so-called water cops could be deployed?
Yes, it might be, but we're checking the data to see whether or not we're...
Usted aprenderá. Back to indexed annuities for just a moment. I mean...
of discipline whatsoever would have killed this innocent black young man in the back while he was on his knees and surrendering.
8822. That's toll free 800-606-8822 and request.
Now, may God bless you.
But what only water contains a little drop for me.
Our low prices will make
That it's wrong. If the spirit moves you, let me groove.
Sounds very good now. Sounds like it's supposed to. You could tell it's firing on all cylinders with good transistors.
Lock me away inside of your love. Throw away the key. I'm guilty of love in the first degree. I thought it would be so simple.
The technical part of this is you can see that the way these are biased is they just have a 120K resistor and 180K. There is no voltage divider here, so that's why you can put silicon or germanium in here, because it's the voltage is not divided down to 250 millivolts or whatever versus 500. It's just, I don't know why they did it like this. Probably they were trying to cut the cost of having the other two resistors, but whatever, silicon works fine because the voltage just floats right up to the collector voltage when the transistor's not in there. This junction of the transistor right here is what's regulating this voltage.